Hello everyone. So today, as we have discussed that this is our EC2 day, actually. Hi Srinivas, hi Pavan. Hope you guys are doing good. Let's just do a quick voice check. Can you guys hear me? Say yes in the chat, please. I'm good, Srinivas. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, great. So let's start. So today is our EC2 day, and EC2 is actually the basic service from AWS which you will be using if you want to create any server, if you want to deploy any of your application on Amazon, then this will be your first service in fact. So let's log in, and during this session, actually, you may feel that few things are being repeated from our earlier session. And if you feel so, then it's good. It means earlier thing has been somewhere in your mind. Okay, so as you can see that recently visited services are always available on our dashboard. But if you don't found your recently visited services, you can always click services and then go to compute and EC2. Right? Welcome Vikram, welcome Ansul. Okay, so as you guys can see that we have zero running instances, but before creating any EC2 instance today, I would like to go into the details of the screen or the things which are required to create an instance. Okay, before creating any instance, we need to select our region. These are our region. So regions are actually geographical locations where Amazon has different data centers. This data center has been clubbed into an entity which is known as availability zone. So first you select your region from here. Okay, let me change it to Ohio. Sometimes people confuse it to system, and that operating system may have some predefined application installed. uh, Obviously operating system will be there. So this is actually your operating system, and as through one media or the DVD you can install your operating system on multiple machines or multiple servers. Here also, you can use the same AMI to create multiple machines. N number of machines can be created. Uh, Obviously, the limitations within your account will be applicable. So first you need to select your AMI. So as you can see that we have different kind of AMIs available here. We have Amazon Linux, which is a kind of Linux flavor by Amazon. Then we have SUSE, and then we have Ubuntu also. Red Hat and Enterprise is also available. And then Windows servers are there. And then other specific kind of machines are there. So these are the AMIs or the operating system or application installed operating systems which are directly available from the Amazon. But apart from that, Amazon also has a concept of marketplace where you can found multiple different kind of AMIs. These AMIs are actually commercial AMIs. Like, so for example, if I have created a specific kind of setup and I want to sell that kind of setup to different users of AWS, I can list my that AMI or my service on Amazon Marketplace, and here those AMIs will be available. In the community AMIs, these are kind of open source, or you can say the freely available AMIs most of the time, that even I have created my own community AMIs for different purpose. Like if you search for Ruby, sorry, let's search with my name because there are so many Ruby. Okay, so here comes this thing, that AMIs are related to your region. If your AMIs or your community AMI is in a different region, then it will not be available here. Okay, so and then we have my AMIs. So these AMIs are actually the AMI which we have created. So if we have set up a new server from existing available AMI, and then we do many changes on that one, we do different kind of configuration, we installed many different kind of operating system on that one, and then if we want to create an AMI from that complete machine, we can do that, and those will be available under my AMI. Like here you can see that I have this AMI named my dev server in the Ohio region, but I'll go back to the quick start where default Amazon AMIs are available. Yes, Bilal, I can see you. You guys, if you guys have any question, you can ask in the chat. Thank you. So let's select the AMI type, the AMI type, and then here comes the instance type. So instance types are actually the machine types or the hardware type, we can say. Because hardware sharing is there, so different kind of machines are available. So you can see that we can select our instance type based on available vCPUs or memory, and then the storage type like EBS or something else. So let's because you guys already know about all these things, we have covered that in details. So let me go to the next part. So here comes the actual, usually we just we didn't change anything on this page. Let's Today we are going to spend a lots of time on this one. So number of instances, like, okay, how many machines you want to create in one go. Here you can define. We will be talking about auto scaling group in a different on a different day. So I'll leave it for now. So then there are purchasing options. So I told you guys that basically two three types of different pricing mechanism are available. One is on demand, and another is reserved instances, and then we have spot instances. In the spot instances, actually Amazon asked us to bid for their free capacity. If they have free capacity to in their specific data center, we can bid for that, and here we can define our price. If Amazon is fine with that price, or if our price is the highest price in the bid system, then we will get the server. And as soon as someone else bid extra for that machine, our machine will be removed or deleted. Recently, Amazon launched this feature that instead of removing the machine can be shut down. You can configure it that way. And then network is really important thing here. We need to be so VPC comes into this play. If you want to clear the exam, or if you want to really understand how EC2 works network wise, you really need to pay attention to the VPC. VPC is a virtual private cloud or your virtual private network on AWS. In real world, like you have a network in your office, you have a man router somewhere which acts as a default gateway, and then you have these 192.168.0.1 or similar kind of IP series, and then you have this private network. All machines under your private network can connect to each other, can talk to each other. Yes, Devendra, thank you. Uh, okay, so VPC is a region based. Here I'm telling you some fact. VPC is region based, and then under VPC we have subnets, and subnets are always availability zone based. A VPC can span over multiple availability zones, but a subnet will always be under a single availability zone. This need to be uh, remembered when we are doing architecture of our application or placement of our resources into different subnets. This need to be keep in mind. So this is our subnet, and as you can see in the region there wasn't any name of the availability zone, because VPC is not availability zone specific, but subnet is availability zone specific. That's why availability zone ID like US East 2C or other has been mentioned over there. And then we have this auto assign IP, public IP address. So by default, how we would like this machine to get public IP? It will be auto assigned, or it will be a different mode. So you can enable or disable that feature here. And then here are IAM role. IAM roles are kind of permissions or groups actually, but groups are related to users and roles are usually related to some kind of a resource. We will cover role in details when we'll be doing our session on the IAM actually. So today it is just you can leave it as none. And shutdown behavior, that if we shut down this machine, what should happen? So either it will be stopped or it will be terminated. In the stop case, costing will not be applicable because resources are not being used, but the storage cost will still be there in your account, because whatever hard disk you are using, and stop is only applicable for EBS based or based machines actually. And then we can enable accidental termination. So if accidental termination protection is enabled, your instance cannot be directly terminated. There will be a check before doing that, and then you can enable the CloudWatch monitoring. So CloudWatch is a service from Amazon through which you can keep logs or alerts on your resources, like how much uh, IOs are being used, how much memory or how much CPU uses is there. So you can enable that by default. So, but additional charges may apply. So you need to keep that in mind. And then tenancy. Tenancy is actually very important to understand. It is also important to understand due to some licensing issues. Sometime, some days back, I think. Who asked that question? Yeah, Abhinav. Abhinav asked this question. Uh, all these options are differently charged. Ansul, I'm not sure. Most of these are not chargeable, like network is not chargeable. Uh, auto assign public IP is not chargeable. But like here, monitoring is chargeable. And then tenancy make a very big can make a very big impact on the pricing, because here you can see that we have three kind of tenancy, that okay, how your machine or your server will be created. If it is a default shared environment, then no extra charges are there. But then if you want your instances on a very specific kind of hardware only, then charges will be extra, really extra. Like, okay, you don't want any other client or any other service to be running on your hardware which you are taking from the Amazon, then obviously it is going to cost a lot. And again, these are brusted type of I'll be talking about brusted type in the optimization part, so you can enable that one. So let's go into the advanced details. So this is just user data, although it seems like very simple one, but this plays a very crucial part in our server creation or the machine creation. So suppose this is a Red Hat based machine, and I want to install Apache on this machine by default. So whatever script I'll be writing here, it will be executed as soon as this machine will be created. Really, so you can write any bash script here which can help you to initialize your machine, even like if you are using something like Ansible or Ceph, not Ansible actually, because Ansible is a different kind of system, but in the Ceph kind of orchestration system we have this concept of agents. So if you want to install that kind of agent here, you can include that script here. So this can be used to initialize, to create your initial state of your machine. So Apache can be installed, or if you are going to use that machine for Java purpose, you can directly install whatever command you will be writing here, those will be executed. So I'm just installing Apache here. So let's go to the next part, which is storage. Storage is again, as we have discussed, that we have different kind of storage. Magnetic, which is the cheapest one usually, and then we have general purpose SSD and IOPS, the provisioned IOPS. So you need to be worried about this IOPS number, because these IOPS numbers means a higher cost. Higher IOPS means higher cost. You need to keep that in mind always. So let me go with the magnetic one only, and you can add multiple volumes. It means that your machine can be started with two hard disk or three hard disk or four hard disk. So whatever you will be adding here, those will be. So next, tags are nothing but just informative kind of thing through which you can manage your systems. You can do some kind of reporting based on that. And let's go to security groups. So security groups are actually firewalls. Firewalls, where you can define your rule. So by default, everything is denied. No, all inbound or outbound kind of traffic is always denied. You need to define your rules explicitly to allow traffic inbound or outbound. So by default, you can create a new security group, or if you already have a previous security group defined in your account, Abhinav, because VPC is a virtual, you asked that when, okay, let me, because for other people, let me read your question. So you asked that when we are saying we are using VPC, then why there is a concept of tenancy? Okay, so let me clarify this one thing. VPC is a virtual network concept. It is a virtual thing. There isn't any cost associated with that one. While tenancy is the actual hard disk tenancy. Network is virtual while hardware is the real hardware. That's why there is a cost associated with hardware. And Bilal is asking, so the tenancy is the only option to make our instance dedicated. In terms of hardware dedication, yes. So let's come back to this screen. So here security groups can, you can select existing security groups, and even you can see that what has been allowed from that machine. So let me go and review. So it just giving me, this information. Let's go to that. Okay. It is asking me that your surveys are open to the world. Okay, that's fine. I want to access it through the world. Launch. Okay, here comes the security key. We are launching this Linux machine actually as of now. So as you guys know that a Linux machine can be only accessed by two mediums. Either we will provide it user ID and password, or we will provide it user ID and a specific private key. So this is the key. You can create a new key by selecting this one, and you can name your key anything like, okay, I'm hearing here marking it as Zareef key, and then you will download it. Only after your download has been finished, then launch instance button will be available. And you need to keep this in mind. If you lost access to this key, your access to this machine is lost. There isn't any way to go into this machine again. So let's see launch instance. Okay, while it is being launched, let me talk about some of the things like volumes. Volumes are, again, as I was talking to you guys, these are hard disks, or we have different kind of hard disk, which means that we have different kind of speed hard disks, and we can use them with our systems. And then we have snapshots. Snapshots are actually kind of backups of these EBS. We can create these snapshots from our volumes, and these snapshots are incremental, and these are being stored in S3. We'll cover the S3 separately in the storage section. And security groups. So here we can see the security groups are, as I was saying, that these are firewalls where you can define your inbound or outbound rules. By default, all traffic is disabled, denied. And then this need to be understood in detail. Network interfaces. By default, a instance has only one network interface attached to that. But if we want, we can attach multiple network instances. So that means that we can have multiple IP address on the same machine, because IP addresses are specific to network interfaces. Even one interface can have multiple virtual interfaces. That's a separate topic for the network guys. But here we are talking about specific network interfaces where we can, which we can attach. And it is also possible that we can attach these virtual network interfaces in one sense to different machines. This is really powerful thing. Okay, so here AMIs, we have already talked about this one, and their bundle tasks are related to Windows machine actually. So Windows machine, if we want to create AMIs from the Windows machine, especially the instance store window machine, then we use the bundle task. It's kind of creating media, like AMIs are media only. So in the export request, it is a bidding system kind of system. Reserved instances, there is a fixed price, a upfront payment and upfront commitment. Based on that, they reduce the prices of servers drastically, and they have different kind of another pricing mechanism only also. So the elastic IPs address are the IP addresses which you can use, and there is limitation on the elastic IP addresses. These IP addresses can be used with your instances, and you need to remember that elastic IPs address are free. They don't cost anything, but only when you are using them. If you have just allocated them in your account, you are not using them with your instances, then they will cost you. So usually Amazon charge you when you are using their services, but in this case, Amazon is charging you because you are not using that one. You have allocated that IP address, but if you are not using, then there will be a cost associated with that one. So I think that's all. Okay, so Abhinav, you asked the other day that what is the this classic link? So before VPC was there, this virtual private cloud was there. Uh, Amazon was still providing the the instance services. So those instances as of today called classic instances. Those were not under any specific virtual private cloud. But today, because we have this facility or this feature of creating VPCs and then placing our resources under that VPC, and if we already have those classic instances running, if we want those classic instances to be connected to our VPC, then we use this classic link. That is the specific purpose of that classic link. So what was your other questions actually? Let me, I think those were related to RDS. So let me do that in a different one. Let's keep this session on the EC2 only. So I think the thing which I wanted to cover today, I am done from my side. If you guys have any question, let me know, and then I'll send you some assignments. The Abhinav, ECUs are elastic compute units. Uh, okay, let me send you something about that. I don't want to complicate this session a little one. I'll send you. Any other question, guys? Okay, I think Abhinav, I can cover this swap question. So if you have worked with uh, Linux machines. So Linux machine has this concept of swap file system. This can be a separate hard disk also, and even you can create swap space on your existing hard disk. So this swap space is actually work like a virtual memory. In the Windows world, we call it virtual memory. So this virtual memory is being used when your actual physical memory is for is completely used, and there isn't any extra memory available for the processing. So the processes then start using this swap space. So this swap space concept is still there in the RDS instances. Uses of swap is usually considered bad, or because it means that your physical memory, which is the fastest memory actually, is not sufficient enough for your application. But still your application can run. It will not halt, it will not give any specific error, but swap uses is not considered good usually. Okay, bundle tasks are specific to Windows machine. You need to understand that completely, that these are related to Windows machine. So in usual term, like, okay, if this instance is running right now and I have done lots of changes into that one, and I want to store that those changes to something, so I can restore uh, another machine similar to that machine, so I can create images. So in the Linux world you can directly create images, but if it is a window machine, and also this is an instance store machine, then you need to use bundle tasks. So it is another way of creating AMIs for Windows. I can try to create a window instance, but it is already 34 minutes into this session. I think I have created Windows instance. Okay, let me send you another video. I think I created the Windows instance and shared that with you guys. Okay. So Abhinav, you are asking that you need to understand public-private key pair, how it works. That's really a separate topic, Abhinav. This doesn't fall under category of EC2. That how exchange of keys works. I'll try to create a separate video for that purpose. Okay, guys, I think that's all. Thank you for your interest, and we will do our next session a day after tomorrow, and I'll let you know. You guys already know the schedule, na? Okay, bye. Thank you for your interest, and remember, you can always ask me question on the WhatsApp group, which you have. Thank you. Bye.